The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the obsidian box was placed on the central podium. Ambassador Zektar of the Vorthak Empire stared at the container, his 4 eyes blinking in rapid succession, a clear sign of distress among his species. The box bore no markings, no identification, just a simple human phrase etched into its surface. Return to sender. 3 days earlier, the Council had made what they believed to be a calculated decision. The humans were becoming too influential, too dangerous. Their rapid expansion across the Outer Rim territories, their stubborn refusal to bow to established galactic hierarchies, and worst of all, their infectious ideology of individual freedom, were threatening the carefully maintained order that had kept the galaxy stable for millennia. The human leader must be eliminated, High Chancellor Morden had declared, his tentacles writhing with barely contained aggression. Their species follows the pack mentality. Remove the alpha and they will scatter like frightened prey. The Council had nodded in agreement. They had dealt with hundreds of species before. The pattern was always the same. Eliminate the leadership, and the rest would fall in line or destroy themselves in petty power struggles. It had worked with the Kepler Rebellion, the Andorian Uprising, and countless other problems that had threatened galactic stability. They had chosen their assassins carefully, the shadow dancers of Nyx, beings of pure dark energy who could phase through matter at will. The bone crushers of Krawl, 8-foot-tall predators with exoskeletons harder than starship hulls. The mind weavers of Sion, telepathic masters who could drive their victims insane with a thought. 12 of the galaxy's most feared killers, each worth a small army. The mission was simple: infiltrate the human capital ship, eliminate President Sarah Chen, and escape. The humans would receive the message and order would be restored. Now, as Ambassador Zektar's trembling claws opened the obsidian box, the reality of their miscalculation became horrifically clear. 12 heads, perfectly preserved, eyes still wide with what could only be described as shock. The shadow dancer's ethereal features were frozen mid-scream. The bone crusher's massive skull bore a single precise hole, a projectile weapon wound that had somehow penetrated their legendary armor. The mind weaver's cranium was split cleanly in half, as if something had simply reached in and snapped it like a twig. Impossible, whispered Chancellor Morden, his tentacles now pale with fear. The bone crushers have never been defeated in single combat. The shadow dancers are untouchable. The mind weavers were probably the first to die, came a voice from the chamber's entrance. Every head turned to see a human woman walking calmly into the council chamber. She was unremarkable by human standards. Average, height, brown hair tied back in a simple ponytail, wearing what appeared to be a standard diplomatic suit. But something in her stride, something in her eyes made every alien in the room instinctively step back. President Chen, Ambassador Zektar managed to stammer. You're supposed to be dead? Sarah Chen smiled, and somehow that expression was more terrifying than any alien battle cry. Yes, I imagine you thought I would be. Your assassins certainly did, right up until the moment they realized their fundamental error. She approached the podium, glancing casually at the box of heads. You see, esteemed council members, you made the same mistake that countless others have made throughout human history. You assumed that because we have leaders, we are weak without them. You assumed that because we appear civilized, we have forgotten how to be savage. High Chancellor Morden's voice was barely a whisper. What are you? I'm exactly what I appear to be, Sarah replied. A middle-aged politician from Terra, a mother of 2, a woman who enjoys gardening and terrible romance novels. Her smile widened. I'm also a veteran of the Martian Independence War, a former Marine Corps sniper and someone who has killed more sentient beings than everyone in this room combined. She picked up one of the heads, the Mind Weaver, and examined it with clinical detachment. This one tried to get into my head. Poor thing didn't realize that humans have been dealing with psychological warfare since before we left our home planet. We call it Tuesday. The head went back into the box with a soft thud. The shadow dancers thought they could phase through my defenses. They'd never encountered nanite-enhanced security systems that could solidify dark matter. The Bone Crushers believed their armor made them invincible. They'd never faced depleted uranium rounds fired from a railgun. She closed the box gently, almost reverently. But here's what you really don't understand about humans, Council. What makes us truly dangerous isn't our technology or our weapons, or even our individual capabilities. Sarah Chen looked around the chamber, making eye contact with each alien delegate. What makes us dangerous is that we don't have alphas. We don't follow pack mentality. Every single human is capable of becoming a leader when the situation demands. Every human is capable of extraordinary violence when protecting what they love. You didn't try to kill the head of a hierarchy. You tried to kill someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's friend. The chamber was so quiet that the hum of life support systems seemed deafening. Right now, there are 40 billion humans, spread across 200 colonies, and every single one of them knows that you tried to murder their elected representative. Every single one of them is asking the same question. What are we going to do about it? President Chen turned to leave, then paused at the chamber entrance. I came here personally to deliver your assassins back to you as a courtesy. A professional courtesy. Next time you have a problem with humanity, I suggest you try talking first. Because if you send killers after us again... She looked back at the obsidian box. We won't bother returning the heads. The chamber doors closed behind her with a soft pneumatic hiss, leaving the Galactic Council alone with their terror and 12 very pointed reminders that humanity was not prey. Outside, Sarah Chen allowed herself a small, satisfied smile as she headed back to her shuttle. Sometimes the old ways were still the best ways.